Chapter 1. Your Command of the Subject. If you've never tutored before, you may find yourself doubting your own teaching skills. You may think that a tutor is supposed to be a perfect expert in a subject and be ready to answer any question immediately. It is, however, a misconception, and here's why. The most valuable thing in today's world is information. There are millions of different sources of information. It can be accessed almost from anywhere within seconds. So nobody needs a tutor to provide information. It can be Googled for free. You should by no means aim to become just another source of information, and you should never be afraid of saying that you don't know or forgot something from your subject. As long as you know where to find the missing information, you will be okay, and gaps in your knowledge won't affect the learning process for your student. Imagine yourself a big book, full of useful data, printed in tiny letters on rice paper. This book could contain, for example, all the information about the world history, sufficient to pass any test or exam from school to university ones. But even having this book in your hands, would you be able to read it till the end, understand all the information in it, and then apply your new knowledge? Chances are that you'd fall asleep on the third page and you'd never look at this book again in your life. The main ability a tutor must have is the ability to pass the knowledge, to explain, to make the learner see what remained obscure before. Today there are lots of books and other sources of information, but people still hire tutors and pay them well. It means that they cannot receive the information from a source. They cannot understand it and use it for their own good. So that's what you're supposed to do as a tutor in the first place. Not to keep the information and give it out on a request, but to make it clear, to deliver it to the recipient, and make sure that the information has been accepted, that it will be used afterwards. Don't be afraid that you might not possess some specific knowledge. Google will always know more and better. You'll never beat it anyway. But as long as you understand your subject well and can explain it to others, you can be a tutor, even if you don't have a certificate or pedagogical education. Of course, as a good tutor, you will have to ensure that the information you explain won't be forgotten. To keep it in a student's head, you'll need to offer some exercises that will require your student to apply the new knowledge. If new knowledge is not used, there's no point in learning it at all. So that is the true command of the subject, the ability to let people see what you see, to make them understand what you understand very well, and make sure they won't forget it, that their knowledge will be of use. Don't try to accumulate as much information about your subject as you can. All the necessary data will always be at your disposal, in books and on websites. Instead, keep looking for new, better ways to explain this information. They will become your own unique teaching techniques that won't be found anywhere else.